Yeah, my spirit. You see, I'm aware of my being and my becoming. I'm more than 100. I'm the Sandman, the one and only. You know, took and I'll take a stand. I'll talk to go to ball. Alright, what does that mean? I say, I'll remind you, you're loving, all graceful, all merciful, so full. I don't hold back if it's, you know, oh, harama, hallelujah, 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 what'd you say? Yarusa. Yeah. What about moose? What about your juice? What about your tutu? Can you remind the crew that we got black, we got gold, and we got stacks of chips, and we got a knack for this? Carmen, you're trying to come in, you're trying to get in the booth and shoot. Not like me, but like you. Cause see, you might have a 6th chamber, but don't ask for danger, cause I got a 7th. Yeah. That one shot, that long shot, hit the target, the moon. I'll hit the stars too, baby. Yeah. John, Jay, yeah. Taylor Made, George Weisgerber, Cadence and Says, yeah. The Divine State, Hamadis. What about Earth as one nation? What about better men? And what about the better men? What about a conscious court? The Lord is the judge, you see. Keep reminding me that these masterpieces needs a master key to be cipher. Let me get your piper. Let me get your receipt and your reminder. Let it snow outside, cause that rose will grow not only from the concrete, but from even the snow, you know. Whoa, no, lullaby. Let me tell you about some times that I met these lasses. They were not just, you see, not just another notch. This is not just another, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this ain't something you watch, it's something you listen to, because there's a nuance. There's a little subtle, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, but it might be too much. Joyce, yeah, her voice, you said, when you rejoice, it's on me. It's on me, yeah. It's on these times that I find that the paradise is real nice. Not when you roll it, but the Rolex still tolls you. Not so much, it's actually a really good investment, so Yeah. Not like a, yeah, Ferrari. I mean, you might be the one that can roll it up, but look, I'm just saying, man, it drops in half the value after you take it off the lot. Like what? When you're caught, when you're slicing that Gordian knot, what were you doing? What were you chewing on? Was a chalupa for me, for the family. You see, we go to Taco Bell, yeah, Glenn. Beck, you bet. Yeah. Because each one of us success, it's like, just never forget. Jinman, never forget. You know what I'm saying? Your beer. You know what I'm saying? Never forget your dears, never forget your love, never forget your heart, never forget. You can't, but listen, I'm just here to say, never forget yourself. You might get lost, but you're never separated from who you are, so just let your heart beat and get back to your feet when you can. Don't try and prove it to no stand, just do it for you, do it for your love, do it for the one who is inside and the one who loves those lullabies. I know I do. That moon and that yellow light, that ship of yellow light, that time I woke up to the candlelight and it burned through. You see, I got a message to speak. You see, might have to tell you about all those things that I beat, all those false accusations, man. I'm telling you, man, just place it on the table and face it like, yo. Yeah, all right. So the last one didn't go through. The last video I did, so I'm starting over. And I'm gonna have to just start my message again. World peace. It's inevitable. When you're conscious, it's like, that's the thing, right? It's like the destiny of humankind is to overcome suffering. And it can be delayed, but it is inevitable, right? There are inevitabilities in life. You're gonna breathe, right? See? There you go. That was me, but, if you hear me breathing, you probably breathing too, right? Not just monkey see, monkey do, but human do, we too, right? Okay? So, let's glow, right? Shine bright like a diamond, baby, Detroit. All right. Yeah, the great and honorable Paul K. Chappelle, right? He gets into this. World peace is sometimes seen as a dream, right? That people are not always so keen to feel motivated by. They may not be aware of their own potential, their own possibilities. And therefore, again, feel like, well, what if this, what if that, what if, all these different things that happen, what about all these, problems, and, that might make you feel like, okay, it might, we'll see, if you're conscious, you know that, again, it's coming from a place of, it's coming from a place of, essentially, it's not only ignorance, you know what I'm saying? It's not only, there's many parts to it, the ego, I was doing a little bit differently last time, but I'm doing it again, because I feel like the great and honorable Paul K. Chappelle, military veteran, served in Iraq, seen combat, seen companions die, and the pure instinct of serving and protecting. Um, you know, he's seen these things, so he knows that, like in the worst of situations, you might find the bloom of a lotus. You might see the dove, appear, spark of spirit, right? Often that's how it goes, or at least how it's gone, okay? I still feel very much so that we do not need the worst crises, to look inside. We do not need, since time immemorial, this has been the story, right? We get deluded with material things, with, pleasure, with isolation, with, being, feeling like we're not connected to not only the universe, but the multiverse, okay? And that leads us into ruin, okay? Because, again, it's like, how are you going to deny that you're connected, that you're making an impact, that you are one with your environment? How are you going to do that? For me, it's just not worth my time. I'm saying, like, it could be worth my time, but like, we got to speak the same language, okay? We got to at least speak the same language, or be able to speak one of the same languages, okay? There's a level of fluency involved, but that's, save that, okay? So, Paul K. Chappelle, right, and world peace, right? Let me go to Dr. King on this, right? Because I was talking to my neighbor yesterday, about the king, right? About the king, the conscious king, okay? The man, the prophet, the divine principles, precursor, if you will. I may have to come back to this at a later date, but I say that because, it's like, again, the words may not be enough. We may not know the same language, and we may not be able to read the tone right. We may not be able to see the face, interpret the mood of the person. We may have our own, we may have our own purview, our own paradigm on things. So now I bring up Dr. King, right, because not only did he have a dream for America, but he had a dream for the world. And this part of the story has somehow not been, talked about, brought to the attention of people, translated or interpreted well enough, perhaps, because, it's well known that he worked with the great and honorable Thich Nhat Hanh, the great and late, his person, that he was international, that he was someone that, hold on a second. He was someone that dreamed of, he saw through a lot of these layers of consciousness, or in unconsciousness, Now, again, we have to remember that he had a very short life, unfortunately. God works through all things. So, somehow, God gets the glory. But, the Boondocks, right, went into this episode. Hold on one second. Sorry. Here. I don't know if y'all seen the Boondocks, but there's that one episode, again, like the first season, where King comes back. Or never died. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but, and, you kind of see how it's like, what would have the world been like? And I think there's a lot more to add to that. But I'm saying this because, it's not only about dreaming big, right? There's a big part of consciousness. Now, you can have conscious dreaming. Great book, by the way, Conscious Dreaming. I'd have to look it up to find you the author, and that reminds me, I gotta get back to this whole. There's something in the Course of Miracles that talks about the authority problem that's been kind of tickling me today. Just trying to make sense of it in a more tangible, articulate way, so that I can bring it into your awareness, so that I can help you have a burgeoning sense of not only urgency, that's not necessarily the point, but that you can benefit from it, basically, okay? And because that's the thing, right? Like, memory, okay? I'm going to get into this point of memory in just a second. I need to check something out. Okay, memory can be conscious, right? Now, I'm going to play a little bit of music for you before I get back to it, but let me just let that sit with you, okay? Hold on now, here we go. Okay, all right, let me get back to my point here about about conscious memory. Now, I'm not going to go too far into it, but I do want to explain, because I feel like it's not only nowadays, you know what I mean, but there sometimes may be questions about what is consciousness, right? I mean, turtles are conscious, right? We see them move around. We see them, we interact with turtles, you know what I'm saying? We interact with the trees. Trees are conscious, right? They say the universe is conscious. But there's human awareness that is, that we are able to do incredible things, not only technically, but we're able to go far beyond, whether it is like, whether it's the Buddha boy, whether it's like, the Hindu saint who, basically fasted his whole life, If you read Inner Engineering, you know about some quote unquote superhuman things that people have done. There are so many things, if you're into hip hop, you might know about the rap god, Sumalama Duma Suma, how do I get through those superhuman, da, 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 you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, memory may tell you that you're capable of something, right? Oh, this worked, this didn't work, right? But that is only if you're in your memory, in the here now, in this moment, in the present. Those things are not blocking you from a new outcome, okay? So if you are conscious, you can remember, your life. I remember talking with my roommate one time, and we were going to the park, and he loves Buddhism, and as I, Tagatagaripa, the great founder of Buddhism, had talked to, is alleged to have said that basically, everything is like, to be awakened, to be the Buddha, you are able to have instant, recall. You can kind of remember everything in your life because what is unconscious, the body is a lot of times your memory. Now it can be unconscious. You may have various parts of your memory unable to be accessed, okay? Because the moment may not call for it. But if you are able to draw on those memories, if you're able to communicate those memories into the conscious context of your environment, right, a lesson can be learned. There can be growth. There can be a new level. There can be, something unseen. So now going from the subconscious of the body and as it works in your memory, excuse me, I'm trying to, bring some clear, very real definition to what consciousness is, human consciousness, and even, God consciousness, okay? Because that's the thing. Once you've experienced the Lord, once it's no longer a myth, once the divine is a part of your life in a way that is undeniably present, that is undeniably communicatable, you are, on some level conscious, okay? Like, you are on some level not only humanely conscious, but you are, you have reached you have reached a level of communication that can basically deliver results in a way that, again, it gets you money, gets you respect, okay? And I'm bringing some definition to it because I understand. I remember, like, I've heard times before too where it's like, Jesus, right? Like, why is it that Jesus is not understood as the conscious Christ? You know what I'm saying? The founder of the Christhood, right? The way he should be, right? It's because I feel like, there's definition that needs to be clearly lined out. When you're at work, when you're in a relationship, when there's different things going on, you might not know the different steps to take in your context, in your situation, that lead to the proper result, that lead to, getting the work done, getting, having things run smoothly. So consciousness then needs definition in some level, right? In order for communication to be totally complete, okay? Now, so I'm talking about human consciousness. I'm talking about, conscious memory, and yeah. Let me let that sit with you, okay? Because I think there's a digestion period, and I'm just gonna let this sit with you. Yeah. So let's get the music back on. go ahead and bring this to a conclusion because I need to do a couple more tests and figure out how this is going. But I wanted to just bring this to a clear, concise description of consciousness being currency, okay? Because a lot of times, again, in order for understanding to be there, there is a language needed. And language brings about a certain respect, okay, that currency becomes, right? So I'm just going to finish it off there, but I'm going to say before I end this that the currency, the respect, does not always have to be understood later. You know, you can give respect to get respect, okay? So a lot of times people respect the money, but they don't respect the foundation. They don't understand where the money comes from. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand the background, the history of that currency, and therefore they take it for granted. Or, you know, it's just like a part of the, you know, situation. And that's, you know, let's just go ahead and breathe and let the information set in. And yeah, I really appreciate you being here. Much love, and yeah, I'll see you next time.